Welcome. Let's see. We are going live. Hello, Facebook world. It's Wednesday. We're going live again with some, with some tips with Karolis here, with some tips to help you manage that work-family life balance. And today we especially have some tips for you entrepreneurs, salespeople, marketers, copywriters, anyone that uses sales psychology to deliver ideas, but you struggle sometimes to bring that into the house and get your kids to clean the rooms or get the kids to eat broccoli or something like that. We have some tips to help you. What's up, Karolis?
Hello, Jesse. Hello, everyone who's watching. Glad to be back. Glad to share again with you.
Welcome. Awesome. Let me, it's weird. I haven't figured out how to go live and make it public. It's always available to only my friends, not to the public audience.
Have you checked your Zoom settings or Facebook settings? Like
I think it's Facebook settings, but both of them say, public. So like they say that I've streamed public. So I think it's the Facebook settings, but I don't know why it does that. And it happens from StreamYard and from Zoom. So
because
it has to be
because that's a third party. That's a third party application. Maybe there is a separate settings for a third party application that narrows to the friend only audience.
That must be it. I'll have to check it out again. It's weird. There's so many options in the Facebook settings too. But anyway, so today's an interesting topic, right? Because you're in business. You've run and helped successful businesses grow. And there is a lot of similarity in getting a prospect to join your vision and to ultimately sell them on your idea, and raising our kids and getting our kids or your spouse or your partner to buy into your idea. And I'm really excited to dive into what tips that you have and share the tips that I have that, have served us in essentially human psychology and communication.
Yeah, indeed. So may I start from a first one?
Go ahead. Share your first one. I'm going to open up Facebook so I can see if people comment.
May I start from a first one?
All right, there you go.
Yeah, the double sound. So my one of the first projects that I was really passionate about was a community project. It was called Sports Lodge, and I'm currently in a developing phase because we was very narrow, so it was only for Lithuanian community, and we going globally. But it's not about that. It's about the fact why it became my purposeful project and how it really attracted people to believe in my vision. And this is my first topic. So setting common ground. So you can apply this in sales, and you should apply it in sales because that eases your process of selling. It eases the process of building the relationship and negotiating in a long run. Yeah, but how it became the trigger point for the audience to join my vision, and how does it really equally matches with the family topic, is that when you make a vision clear, when you build a vision through the common ground, so through the interest of both parties, you get the agreement from them that yes, I want to be part of that. And in family, we can see this as old standard that it's the journey that parents choose. But I think that's not the case, and that's not how it should be, because children, they explore. They're ready to be, they're ready to go. And example, today is the first day for my nephew to go in the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. Do you know?
Cool.
Yeah. We can do congratulations for him. He's 7 years old, and it's a big milestone for him. And you know, these kids these times, you know, who use social media, they kind of have that instant gratification thing. And for me, that was like, yes, you know, he's doing that. And you know how I made it? You know, I didn't told him go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. No, he came to me and he gave me a phone and he said, look to the video. I looked to the video with all the respect, you know, even it was a little nonsense, you know, but it was, he, you know, he came to me and he gave me his phone, and, you know, it was not in my interest, but I dedicated my time. So he feels accepted, he feels recognized because he's doing the intention to speak with me. He seeks something from me. Yeah, maybe he's seeking for validation. Maybe he's looking into me in some sort of a authority in his life or whatever, you know, it's based on his mind. And when I watched that video, you know, I grabbed the phone back again and I said, would you be interested to watch one video that I want you to show? And he's like, yeah, we have common ground. He's interested to watch my video. Yeah. And I wrote into YouTube search, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu kids competition. And now you can imagine what kind of videos. God, the little ones are rolling, transmitting, submitting, you know, tackling, all that effect, all that adrenaline. And somehow the internet didn't work for that video. We couldn't watch it like together. So I had to leave somewhere, and, you know, I completely forgot that, you know, I gave him that video to watch. And when I was visiting my wife's mother that weekend, and in the morning, first thing what I see, the little one runs to me and he says, I made it. I watched the video. I want to go to the class.
Awesome.
I was like, awesome, let's go, let's make it happen, you know. And in a family, you know, that this nephew, you know, I'm not spending time with him regularly, or we don't talk about, you know, values much, you know. When I meet him, he asks questions, deep questions. I love the kid, you know, he loves to ask questions, and I love to ask questions to him, you know, to make him think and to go like, really, you know. So and in the family case, we have this building, setting common grounds while building our vision. So we have to find the mutual agreement, the common grounds between your vision and how your child sees the world, and deliver the same message, just aligned to the needs of the child. Don't make it about you, make it about you together, about releasing and not captivating the children in your values, in your beliefs. No, allow them to develop the beliefs. You know, the first thing what I'm gonna tell for my child when he gonna start to speak and etc., and, you know, I already repeated that several times, it's your playground. You have to experience everything you want to experience. And I'm only the guy with experience in this world that I can give you options that I knew it's beneficial. So look, this is nice, this is nice, this nice, this nice. Look, if you don't like any of them, or, you know, you would like to explore further, I can make you a list of things that you can observe and decide what is in your interest. But the vision stands for being a good family, being loving family, being successful family, being good human beings. You know, we can develop that vision that the child understands it in the way, you know, because if you will say, oh, you know, we want to be politically correct family, not for a 5-year-old.
Exactly.
You don't want to involve him in Democrats or Republicans and, you know, get into that chaos. No, you want to make it simple and achievable for him. So set the common grounds while you build a vision, and your child will be the one who will point things out for you when you misalign with your vision. That's really crucial. You know, I remember how my brother said to me, you know, but we agreed on that, you know, and why you do this? And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's my big boy mistake, you know. I've done it, and I'm taking the ownership of that, and I'm improving, you know, and I will not repeat that. And that was one of the main reasons why I didn't repeat it, you know, because I was accountable, and I understood that they care about it.
Awesome. So that's cool. I love it. That, you know, that kind of, I had that as something similar as number 2, but I'm going to change that and move it to number 1 just to kind of compound it. but mine comes from like a more of a language background, right? So speak their language, enter their world. And that's my first one, which is very similar. Because let's talk in sales and marketing first. If you want to sell a service to a client, kind of like our conversation before going live, right? You don't want to talk about the features and the journey, that the hard things that they're going to have to do to be consistent, for example, right? As Alex Hormozi says, you sell the vacation, you don't sell the plane trip, right? But kind to go to your jujitsu example, you didn't tell him, hey, do you want to learn an arm bar and a rear naked choke and how to pass the guard? And a lot of people watching here might not even know what those terms mean, but you didn't talk about that. You showed a video, not even of experts doing it, but of kids doing it. You entered his world first. That was beautiful. And speaking their language, I've seen so many times, in Facebook groups and things like that, parents are like, my kids aren't listening to me. My child won't eat. And I've tried to explain to them why it's important that they eat broccoli or whatever. And it's like, dude, you are speaking two different languages right now, because your child is speaking, they don't have the emotion. If they're under like 7, like especially under 5, they don't have the mental capacity. They literally haven't developed the reasoning part of their brain. So by you communicating to them on a reasonable level, they're communicating on an emotional, I want this, I want that level. You're not communicating the same language. So enter into their world, speak their language, and appeal to their emotional nature, find out what they really want, and communicate to that, and communicate that vision. Like how will that benefit them? Not just, I want you to clean your room because you have to have a clean room because you can't, you don't want people to see you in a messy room or whatever the reason is. No, find out why it's important to them, right? And reward them with something they want, not just like explain this is why you should do that. No, that's not communicating their language. So speak their language, meet them where they are.
That's really great way you put it, and I even wrote down, I want you to clean the room. That will be a starting point for my second one, and it's paid ads versus organic ads. Ooh. So yeah, so basically, we have that thing that listen, I will buy you this toy, but just please keep silent. That's paid ads. Yeah, that's paid ads. When you buy the traffic, when you buy the result. Now, when we talk about organic marketing, it takes time. It takes good message. It takes direct message. It's like what Jesse just said. It's about saying it in words that the child understands, target audience understands. Literally, yeah.
Nurturing them.
Oh, nurturing them. Yeah. It's like, we had a conversation with Jess. It's a little bit off topic, but it will be very short. That some of the markets was not there 20 years ago, and we created them. There are plenty of products on Amazon that we never needed, but they are here, and the market is created for them. So can we not create a market for our industries, for our interests, for our offers, for our expertise? So we definitely can. But now getting back on the topic, so the reward and merit system is crucial to have it in place. So they can feel rewarded and etc. But that's where the difference, yeah. So instead of rewarding that, oh, you're so smart, oh, you are so clever, oh, you're doing this so well. Stop this. You buying the flow, you buying the traffic. It doesn't work. It just creates another problem. What you should do instead, oh, you have done this and this and that in a way of X, Y, Z, and I'm really happy to see that you perform in this way. So you explain for what they're being rewarded, not for the result, but for the dedication, for motivation, for doing action, taking steps. They have to be aware, like, like Jesse said, until they're 5 years old, it can be hard for them to comprehend all the rational thinking and all that. But that's where organic marketing comes in. It's the process of nurture where you setting those common grounds, my previous topic, and speaking their language, which was topic of the Jesse. And then you build that flow of communication. Then you build that agreements based on that. Because if every time you're trying to buy traffic, you will be dependent on buying traffic. You will buy traffic till the end of your days. Your child will always demand something. Give me something in order for me to be your son in the way you want me to see. And that's one of the common reasons why when children is growing up, they are communicating with their family only for a reason.
That's right. You may have seen my face when you said organic versus paid traffic. I was trying to put the pieces together, and they are put together now, and it's really great because if you are, and we've all probably done it in our journeys, like I'll put $20 in a paid ad and see if magic happens, but here's the thing, many people do that and they don't have the foundation first. And then they might get eyeballs, they might get views, but they don't have a foundation on what to do when they come in, how to convert that to sales, or the meaning behind that. And if they're just pumping money in, then it might be effective, but you don't have that foundation. Whereas, like, if, to go with your example, buying a toy to stop the crying, that might serve it temporarily. Instant gratification, but you don't have that foundation of healthy communication, why that tantrum wasn't effective, why that tantrum happened, my internal work, right? You don't have that foundation. And that's what happens when people say, oh, these spoiled kids, we don't want to just give them everything they want because then they'll grow up spoiled. No, they don't. They become spoiled, not because they get everything they want, because most successful people, if they grew up in a house where they heard yes more than no, typically they grow up more successfully because more of the world is available to them. Where they become spoiled brats, we'll call them, is when they're given these things without that foundation, right?
Just to keep them silent, just to keep them in the room.
Oh man, that's so disgusting. But
Jesse, it's like, and we talking gently, really, we're talking gently from a parenting perspective. We're talking gently because I grew up in a post-Soviet country with post-Soviet grandma and mother and etc. That can get messy. So, but that's life. And I had to do inner work afterwards. And I would never say that my mother was bad in any way. Yeah, she done stuff, but I learned beautiful things from that. I learned compassion. I learned to understand the people who are going through hard times. And sometimes those hard times touch you. And it doesn't mean that you have to accept that.
Right.
So being present, I think that's a Buddha story when he was presented a gift of angry words from a local village man. And he was like spitting those words on Buddha. And he was silently observing him and didn't react it for the whole time. And after the speech, that guy came and he said, like, why I said all these words on you, why you didn't react to me? And he said, you bring me a gift, your gift, which is coming from you, and I don't need it, and to whom that gift belongs if I don't accept the gift.
And they get the meaning of behind the thing and the gift, and it just adds to it. So organic versus paid ads. I love that.
And I want to add one more thing from my last experience with one ad. So basically, I chose the audience, and I was like narrowing it down later. And what Facebook started to do, it started to drive me the cultural side of the audience.
Huh.
And I was like, why? You know? And this clicked me while you was talking, that this example is really a great example. So sometimes we innocently try to bribe our children with paid ads, paid ads, in order to get something out of them. But what do we get out of them sometimes is not what we expected.
No.
First of all, I'm not saying that, don't buy things for your children. No. First of all, set the foundations, organic foundations, which will nurture your child, and your child will have the safe zones where he can, realize his own boundaries, realize the family vision. He knows the common grounds, and he knows that it's the way he loves to be. So he is self-realizing, not you realizing. You don't want him to be you realized. You want to be her self-realized. So they look for themselves, look for their own answers, look for the best way, what is best for them. So giving the mic to Jesse.
Awesome. I love it. Then this is what's cool about not going over what we do before, because I had three. My third one, I'm going to give my third one now. Nobody really needs to know which order I wrote them in. I don't think I'll announce that later, but the getting a peek behind the curtain, to get the meaning behind what I call in my story framework. And this is from Jeff Barch, which is a Hollywood editor. Get to the thing under the thing. Meaning get to the deeper reason behind them not wanting to clean their room. Like, it's not because they want to live in filth, despite what a manipulative mother might say. Do you want to live in filth? Fine. Okay, sure. But that's not why. What is the thing under the thing? Maybe I've come to learn, as far as my understanding now, really the thing under the thing comes down to 4 questions. Either I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard, I don't feel valued, I don't feel appreciated. And I don't feel understood. Sorry, valued and appreciated is probably the same thing. But I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard, I don't feel valued, I don't feel understood. And if the funny thing about that is, if we look at ourselves as far as like what triggers us as parents, it comes down to those 4 questions. Like, why is this behavior triggering me so much? And if we get to that thing under the thing, then it makes it a lot easier to communicate to them, as we said before, in their language and on their level. Right? Get to the thing under the thing. Same thing in sales, right? What's the objection? Like the, later in the year when things lighten up, after this new year, after this holiday, I'll do it. Well, that's not really the real objection. The real objection is the thing under the thing, right? Probably lack of certainty, or they don't trust themselves, or they don't trust the product, or they don't have enough information, or whatever, right? Get to that thing under the thing and address that and help them understand that. And I think that will help. That's helped me a lot in my own personal parenting journey and sales journey as well.
Really, that can be taken as stoistic questions, like it's meaningful questions, like why it is the way it is, what does it give to me, like how this suffering part, nurtures my inner child, what kind of situation it reminds me. So it's like it's directly related to the inner work. And it, by the way, Jesse, I know we public on the live video about the thing we talked about before going live. It's really everything, all the industries are interconnected. Human beings, business, the impact we create, it's all interconnected. And when you develop one, but undermine the second one and undermine the third one, or undersee the third one, you have failed the first one. Even if you are expert in the first one and you failed in second one, and you don't look seriously on in the third one, those two will affect the first one. So it's really crucial to have that, like, you know, Jesse likes to say work-life balance, is because all those things like your business, you, your family, the children, they all have to be equally worthy, you know, they all have to be equally understood. And like Jesse gave those 4 examples, you know, have you been heard? Like, do you feel like you've been heard? Does your children feel like they were heard? You know, does your business, you know, I know it's a thing, but you know, your business consists employees and clients. Does your business was heard? Like, does your impact was heard? Have you ever asked the questions? So for this one, and like Jesse said, you know, he said the order. So my order today was 3, 1, 2. So yeah, that was the first time that way, but it was. So my last one is everything can be negotiated. And you know, in life, everything is really about negotiation. You know, if you will stand in a coffee shop, you know, and you ordered coffee and it's wrong coffee, you know, you're gonna need to do some little negotiation, you know, to change the things, you know. And you know, if you want something else, you know, maybe you need to negotiate. Maybe you want to get a discount, you know, you're gonna negotiate things. When the children wants to go out, and you know that they haven't done the homework, and you say like, listen, boy, you need to finish the homework first, you know, like that's how we agreed. And they're like, oh, but you know, my friends are out now. And that's a clever answer, you know, that why I want to push the homework to a bit later, because my friends are out now, right now. So what is the point for me to go outside when they're not outside, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the negotiation process. And you might think that, oh, but I'm losing at this negotiation because we said that he's doing homework and then going out. No, that's a flexibility of life. That's being clear in the reasons why you need to postpone that, why you need to delay that, why you need to change the rota. Yeah, it's about the clarity. If your child can explain that, you can negotiate that. And it's not about win-win in parenting. No, they are children. You're not doing corporate negotiations. No, the children are the win always. They always win. Sometimes they don't understand that they win, but they always win. Yeah. And we have to, and
that should be our goal.
That should be our goal. Yeah. And especially when they lose at something, that's where we have to teach them how to win.
Yeah.
When they fall, you're like, yeah, that's good. Now you're gonna learn to walk properly, you know, something like that. But it's a different way of putting this. And we often look for that a necessity to win. Necessity, our need to be heard and understood, that my rules are respected. My rules, my values, my boundaries are understood. I'm feeling worthy, but not your kids has to make you worthy. Your kids has nothing to do with you feeling worthy, with you feeling heard, with you feeling seen, or you feeling understood. They have nothing to do with that. They just play. It's their playground. It's the playground. They enjoy that. They love it. And you have to be part of that. If you make it complicated for them, if you make it about your wins, where is the wins of there?
Yeah, that's a great point, because if they determine your worthiness or your triggered moments, you're giving them the power. And that's some internal work that needs to be addressed.
And it's not it's not really about giving the children power. You building a habit of giving power to someone external from you. So instead of owning the power, you give it to someone. And today is the children. Next day, it's your boss. It's your contractor. It's your girlfriend.
The other driver that you've never even met.
Someone persuasive.
That's cool. And that's something that I work with my kids. I teach them ever since they could, talk. I've taught them negotiation, even down to like, take 4 more bites, and they're like, no. I was like, no. Like when I say take 4 more bites, you say, no, 1 more bite. And then I'll say, okay, 3 more bites. And you say 2 more bites. and then we meet in the middle, like that sort of like little I've taught them.
That's a
And my
win-win.
daughters-
That's a win-win.
Yeah, totally. And or with time, like, okay, we're gonna go in 5 minutes. No, 20 minutes. Okay, so like they're getting super, super good at that. And
Yeah.
it's funny that you said it's funny how in sync we are. Because you said everything in life is a negotiation. And that, like, have you heard that ad from Chris Voss on what's that course platform, Mastermind or Masterclass? You know, that's straight from Chris Voss's voice. Everything in life is a negotiation. Chris Voss, by the way, anyone who's not familiar with it, he is an ex-FBI negotiator, and he teaches negotiation secrets and tactics and tricks. And that's actually where I got this third tactic from, which is my third one. It's from Chris Voss, and it's mirroring. And mirroring is in a sales call or in a conversation, repeating the last 1 to 3 words that the other person says. And this enters into their world, and it's using their words, and it gives them time to hear what they're saying, to have them become conscious of what they're saying, and then you leave some silence. So you repeat the last 1 to 3 words that they say, and then you stay silent, and for up to 3 seconds. And I've done this with my 5-year-old, who is completely like really like carnal, is that the word? Like he's really instinctive, right? He's really emotional, and he's 5. But I've used this to kind of like calm him down. You know, I'm not going. You're not going. And then you get it, you know, silent. And then he starts to open up.
Yeah.
And then that opens up the conversation. That brings down the emotion, right, for both of you. And so mirroring, repeating the last 1 to 3 words, and then letting silence go. Not interjecting, not giving your opinion, not saying this is the way it is. Not yet, maybe eventually, but this is a mirroring sales tactic, which helps a lot in to enter their world and to build rapport and to build trust and to open up a conversation.
Yeah, indeed. And by the way, mirroring was one of the not first, but one of the first marketing techniques I was introduced, you know, and used it for my business. So
that's
the
awesome.
Yeah, there is quite a solid process how to do it. And
did you get it from Chris Voss's book, How to Never Split the Difference?
No, I didn't. And Chris Voss is the guy, the guy behind the Black Swan, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I've seen him. I wanted to read his book, but I was keep pushing that away. I don't know why. But the thing is that you know, all those stories. I saw his video in a Grant Cardone event in 2021, I think. Yeah, he was one of the speakers, and yeah, so the mirroring thing, and you know, ability. One thing with you finding the common grounds with your children and using the mirroring technique. And if the children don't interact very often with other people, it can make them feel a bit loose when they are faced with people who don't use that. So basically what you do, you create a safe environment for them, like to communicate with you. But when you expose them to people who don't do this, they can kind of feel in a turbulence. That's why really we really should interact with our children in a way that is not direct with us. So we have to, you know, help them to get socialized. We have to help them, you know, get in different environments. And I'm not saying to be stuck with environment. I'm saying try different things with different children groups, so they experience different humankinds, And that gives them the tools to handle the situations, to really build their own negotiation skills. Because if we make the family environment where everything is on common grounds, everything is about the mirroring, and that's very powerful. Because but what happens when they don't get this? What kind of behaviors they're gonna expose? Are they gonna start panicking? Are they gonna start getting emotional because things don't go the way it should go?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really important, and I think that this can be for our next topic, the flexibility and this, and using turbulence to create conscious and legacy driven kids, who are capable to negotiate any situation, not just a situation which is comfortable. Because we talking, the tools we disclosed today, they're creating safe environment for a certain outcome to be received. But the real world is about being flexible. And like we spoke with Jesse multiple times about that, there is a saying: success loves prepared ones. And I strongly disagree with this one, because I believe that if you can be prepared when you're not prepared, that's where the sign of your character, that's where your measure of success. Because success doesn't always come, packed in this little wrap, and this has all these, all these bits and bobs, and beautiful present inside. Sometimes it comes as an opportunity that you need to handle when you are not ready to handle it. And you being flexible to stress, you being flexible to situations, you being flexible with your children, and your children developing this trait of being like a young wood, which is capable to bend and adapt and restore itself. That's where you have the win-win situation. You have safe environment in your house, you have a clear communication chain, you use the mirroring, you're setting common grounds, you nurture your child so they kind of develop the same vision as you, but through their unique perspective, and you let them into life to test that and develop that resilience, I could say, through turbulence, that it doesn't affect them, so they have the effort of being present in there and being good with all the situations, even if they are not prepared for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I marked that down. Next week, flexibility and turning turbulence into confidence. That's awesome. We've been on here a long time. I think
Really?
I think that's it. So thank you. I hope that you guys found value, found something to take with you. Really, if you are in sales, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are in marketing, there is a lot of psychology that we learn in that world to be applied at home. And it's just a matter, I guess the big purpose of today's message is just to remind you of that and to help you, give you more patience and more peace at home and to feel more control. So thank you for watching. Karolis, anything to leave on?
So I would love to see some of you beautiful faces on October 23rd. We are launching our 5-day challenge where we're gonna build family legacy plan. And we share weekly our insights, we share our topics, and we come unprepared to learn to be prepared. So, and we keep delivering, we keep pushing those boundaries, we keep pushing that resistance, and we keep expanding on the topics, on the tools, on the skill sets that you need to become really conscious parenting leader. And those 5 days, like, that will be extraordinary days, because we're gonna use very powerful tools, we're gonna speak about very powerful topics. And I think the people who want to take their lives with love, but with powerful love, which is effective, action oriented, should focus on taking the action first right now, putting the date of October 23rd in your calendar, and hitting the link down below this video in a comment section, joining our group, and being prepared, being ready for that. And You are prepared to be in a challenge, but you don't know what's coming in the challenge. So you're gonna need to be unprepared to be prepared. So that's my last message today. Thank you everyone who watched, and thank you, Jesse, for all the shares.
Thank you. And I look forward to seeing all of you. I posted the link to the group below, so I'll see you on the inside.
See you.